parents, good to see you. Those online as well. So good to see you on this. Finally, we have this rainy day, right? Boy, yep, really grateful. Okay, at the fellowship, we recognize all encounters as holy. And we know that our time together is by divine appointment. Please stand as we sing together our Prayer of the Child of Love by our beloved Corey Williams. And that should be right on the front of your bulletin. Music. Draw your attention to our connection card, and if there's something new, perhaps a phone number or email, just make a note of it. And then coming to the back of the card, if you could add anyone that you would like to that we would say prayers later in our service. So anyone that you would like to add, and we'll put it in our basket that'll go around.
And all those names get added to our prayer list for the prayer team.
Good. Did you hear that? And all those names get added to the prayer list for our prayer team. So we got just extra prayers coming in. So, yeah. So, yeah, definitely, and John will go around later, so you can put that in the basket. And let's begin. We're going to begin with a centering meditation. So I just invite you just to take a moment to find a nice, comfortable position in your chair. Maybe roll those shoulders back. And just finding all four corners of your feet. Just feeling the presence of the earth underneath your feet. Feeling your sit bones and that connection of your sit bones to the chair in this nice, open, and receptive position in our bodies. And in this position, let's take Just a few slow, deep breaths in and slow, deep breaths out. And taking another slow, deep breath in through the nose and a slow, deep breath out. And just preparing ourselves for some centering, some deep inner listening to help us align with the divine. And just feeling that love and the light and the wisdom that is here all around us. And feeling yourself connected to the earth. And just bringing a soft attention to your body. And just noticing how that our breath breathes itself. Envisioning the soles of our feet opening and dropping roots into the earth. And let these roots spread out and connect us with everyone here and virtually. It's forming a webbing, a grounding, a support for everyone, anchoring the light, love, and wisdom that is here. And let's set an intention to make ourselves available to love, to God. And as we fully arrive here, we acknowledge any feelings or thoughts that have not been acknowledged up to this point. And let's meet each thought and feeling with deep compassion. And we thank each thought for being an edge that allows us to bounce back to our center. Helping us to be fully available to love's message. And while here in this reflective state, I'd like to share a section from Lesson 156, the A Course in Miracles workbook. I walk with God in perfect holiness. It says, there is a light in you which cannot die. There is a light in you which cannot die. It is so holy that the world is sanctified because of you. All things that live bring gifts to you and offer them in gratitude and gladness at your feet. The scent of flowers is their gift to you. The waves bow down before you, and the trees extend their arms to shield you from the heat and lay their leaves before you on the ground, that you may walk in softness while the wind sinks to a whisper round your holy head. A question that is asked in this lesson is, who walks with me? Who walks with you? Who walks with us? This question should be asked 1,000 times a day till certainty has ended doubting and established peace. And taking a deeper breath in and out, and gently coming back into the space. What a beautiful lesson. Beautiful lesson. That was 156 in A Course in Miracles. And it's my pleasure to introduce our very own wonderful Julie Voss. Thanks.
You haven't heard me do anything yet.
Love you already.
I'm feeling so zen after that beautiful meditation paired with the most beautiful piano, soothing piano music. Thank you for the gift of that and to help me prepare for my song. So, I'm going to share and keep this mic nice and close. Especially for those at home so you can hear me. The two songs I'll play today are both originals. I know you've heard the song I wrote called Hidden Treasure, which was my very first song. And this song you're going to hear next is the second song, called The Journey. And I don't need a cable for this one. Walk with me and talk with me as I journey on this path. Lead the way, though I will stray, our bond forever lasts. Each new day our blessings flow, each night a rest so sweet. So walk with me and talk with me and always guide my feet. All I see, every flowering tree and each blade of grass, the stars at night shining bright, their beauty will not pass. Every living creature connected, one and all. So hold my hand, and I will stand in oneness with it all. Each rocky road and heavy load, a lesson to be learned. The twists and winding paths I take, my heart and mind have turned into a deeper wisdom within me growing now. So walk with me and talk with me, the one inside the line. There's a deeper wisdom within me growing now. So walk with me and talk with me, the one inside alive.
How beautiful. Thank you, Julie. Oh, lovely. Oh my goodness. And that's an original. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. And we're going to stand for fellowship song. We're going to switch the words a little bit. It's love leadeth me. We usually have he leadeth me, and then we switch to she. We're going to just have love leadeth me. So just a little change. You know how we usually do that second verse. So it'll be page 15. So we're going to stand if you're able, and then we'll stay standing for our namaste.
Love leadeth me and knows the way which I know not. Yet love would never keep from me what love would have me learn. And so I trust love to communicate to me all that love knows for me. Love leadeth me and knows the way. Love leadeth me and knows the way. Love leadeth me and knows the way which I know not. Sing it again. Love leadeth me and knows the way which I know not. But love would never keep from me what love would have me learn. And so I trust love to communicate to me all that love knows for me. Love leadeth me and knows the way. Love leadeth me and knows the way. Love leadeth me and knows the way which I know not. Which I know not.
Let's stay standing if you can and meet our neighbors.
I already shot you an email with the dates about it. I did it while I was thinking about it, so.
Thank you. No. Awesome.
I think we need to have at least an hour to do that. And now it is my honor to introduce our beloved Reverend Mary Sabaj, our director and leader of our fellowship. Let's give her a warm welcome.
First of all, I have to just say how beautiful you sound. I mean, that first song especially, I think we're all getting to know it so well that it just sounds so beautiful. And I also want to mention since Julie's here with us today, that it's soon to be Reverend Julie Ross. She'll have her ordination in August. So she completed the School of Ministry. She had her last class, and so you know how sometimes the book flies off the bookshelf at you? Well, that didn't happen. It just kept saying the title in my head. And I haven't read this book for years. It's Wayne Dyer's There's a Spiritual Solution to Every Problem. So I know that many of you have read it. And so I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll take a look at it then. And I got it off my shelf and started leafing through. He wrote this book in 2003, so that's 20 years ago. Yeah, it's hard to believe that 20 years just flew by. And so I read through again, and I'm looking at the title, There's a Spiritual Solution to Every Problem. And I'm remembering that A Course in Miracles tells us, you do not have any problems. And so if knowing this were all it takes, we'd be done here. And we could go on to sing the next song or whatever. But there's a second half to that teaching in A Course in Miracles. You do not have any problems, though you think you do. So there's the important bit. And so if we look at this last part of that sentence, there's where the problems come from. So I'm reading through the book, and it didn't take me long at all to quickly see what I was meant to be reminded about. And I thought I would share this reminder with all of you. I don't think we can hear it enough. There's a chapter in here called It's All Energy. And everything is energy and vibration. Everything is in motion. Higher, faster, to lower, slower. And Wayne Dyer tells us there are three things that are important for us to remember. One is the higher, faster energy will aid us in problem solving, transcending us out of ego mind, making available to us intuition and creativity, open us to new ideas and new opportunities, whereas lower, slower energy intensifies the problems and inhibits solutions and creates problems to begin with. And the last third thing of these three important things is we each have within us the absolute capacity to increase and enhance our energy field. So let's consider the solution you seek to anything that you've labeled a problem lies in your willingness to shift your energy patterns. And that sounds pretty easy. A Course in Miracles also tells us, do you want the problem or the answer? Decide for the answer, and you will see that it's yours already. I love that. So Wayne Dyer was among the first of the modern teachers to really press upon this issue of what we think about expands. And many of the more modern teachers got on the bandwagon with that. And in his book, he uses this wonderful metaphor to remind us about how this works. So I'm going to give you each $1 million and send you out to spend it. And I want you to spend it all. Because if we had a conversion calculator for money to thoughts that $1 million would be spent in no time flat, right? So I want you to go out and start spending this $1 million. And as you're spending it, you come across this beautiful, this house. It's not anything like what you really want. It's not in the location you want. It's not got the beautiful garden that you want. It doesn't have the big kitchen that you want, but you buy it. Here's $60,000 or $600,000, more like it, and now you have your house. And now you're going to go out and furnish your house. And you go to the furniture store, if you can find one that's open, that's not online. And so you go to the furniture store and you're looking around and you see this sofa. And this sofa isn't anything that you would normally like. It's not a color you want in your house. It's not a fabric you want to sit on. But here's $3,000 for the sofa. Please deliver that for me. And while we're at it, let's get matching a love seat and lamps. Just really don't like this, and we leave the furniture store just feeling, well, we'll see. And then we go to a clothing store and we start looking at clothes and we see a dress, and we know this dress is not going to fit us and it's not going to look good on us. Well, here's $100, let's buy that dress and take it home. And for the men here, we look at a shirt. The shirt is Pepto-Bismol pink. And and maybe some of you like that. But it's not anything that you normally would get. And it really just makes you feel kind of icky. Well, here's $50 for that shirt. We're going to take it home. And so you get home to this house that you don't like, furnished with furniture that you don't like, in your clothes that you don't like, and you ask yourself, why is my house filled with things that I don't like? Why am I wearing clothes that I don't like? Well, we do that all the time, right? We think about things that we don't like. We spend our energy, and money is just energy, on things that we don't like in places that we don't like. And we do it unconsciously. So if we were to consciously go about that exercise and really think it through, we wouldn't end up with a house we didn't like, with furniture we didn't like, and clothes we didn't like. So it's important to understand that if we keep thinking about things that we don't like, negativity, problems are going to find their way into our lives one way or another, in some place or another, whether it's relationships or money or our health, emotional, mental, or physical health. It finds its way into our lives. And so we need to be mindful as much as we possibly can, watching and monitoring our thoughts as much as we possibly can. And this is a lesson that, was a Fellowship 101 lesson. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Remembering that the low, slow energy keeps us in the world of problems. The world of problems. And we just keep going from one to the other, trying to master them, trying to solve them with our ego. So lest you believe that your thoughts do not impact your physical bodies, I'm going to ask Barbara Kinsey to come up, and she's going to do a demonstration for us. Welcome, Barbara.
First off, I want to acknowledge these beautiful flowers and thank Craig for contributing to So for this demonstration, I'm going to need a volunteer. kinesiology and how her thoughts are going to impact what's happening with her body. So if you would turn and face me, Kathy, let me get around this way a little bit. Okay. And I'm actually going to put my hands on you, and I want to know if that's all right. Okay. And I also want you to trust me. So if you don't trust me, this is not going to work. Okay, great. Thanks. So we're going to do a test of your strength as you're thinking a particular thought. So the first thing we're going to test is yes and no, which will test the strength. So if you just put your arm out here, and I want you to just resist as I push down on it, and I want you to think yes. And resist. Beautiful. Now I want you to think no as I push down on it. So she has no strength with a negative comment like no. So once again, put your arm up, and I'm going to ask you to say, my name is Kathy.
My name is Kathy.
And resist. Very strong. So now I want you to say with your arm up, my name is Barbara.
My name is Barbara.
No strength at all.
I have a friend that calls me Barbara all the time. It's like my friend whose name is Barbara, so I just say I'm Barbara too.
Okay, well, I think if we, do you want to do the partner thing?
Yeah, I think we have time to do that.
Yes. If everybody would, thank you very much. Let's give Kathy a hand for So if everybody would pick a partner and then follow me as we walk through this exercise.
I want to ask Kathy real quick, when you were doing something that wasn't true, did you feel the weakness in your arm?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And you felt the strength in your arm when it was true. And you'll all feel that.
Yeah. So her thoughts were translating to her body, and that's what's going to happen with the partner up here. So we want the person, choose is going to be the receiver, and I want you to be balanced in your stance. Soft knees. Now the receiver should put one arm out, and we're going to test for strength. And if you want, you can put your, the giver can put the hand on the other shoulder just for balance. Okay. So I'm going to have you say, the person who's receiving, I want you to say your name as the other person pushes. So you're going to resist and say your name. So go.
Okay, so you felt strong.
Super. Did everybody test positive?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Now the giver, I want you to ask them what if their name is what your name is. So Julie, you would say to Corey, my name is Julie. So
My name is
okay. And test.
It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can say my name is, you can say my name is. Okay, I'm going to go for everyone. Did everybody test? Right. Yeah. There are some methods where you can learn to do this on yourself.
That's the one I use. That's very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barb.
That's very cool.
Did you test this thing?
With Mary. Yeah. There goes Barbara.
So it's so interesting. You can feel the weakness in your body when you're, it's not truth. When it, and so when you think about doing that to your body over and over and over all day long, for, many years maybe, your body's going to take that on. It's going to take that negativity on, and problems will find their way into your life. So as we're monitoring and recognizing that we're doing this, being mindful, we're going to be gentle with ourselves. We don't want to be judgmental and critical and, be harsh with ourselves. But we do just want to notice that this is what's happening. We've slid back into some negative thoughts, unconscious thinking patterns, but we do want to let those thoughts go as quickly as we're able to. And I say as we're able to, because there's loss and grieving, and there are all kinds of situations that it may take us longer to get to that place of coming back to positive, high frequency, fast flowing thoughts. And that's okay. But, I guess my way of saying it, in the past is we try not to swim around in it too much. Just to find our way out to the shore as quickly as possible. So now I want to focus on the idea of the spiritual solution. We're moving out of ego to access spiritual direction. And Wayne Dyer gives us 3 R's. Recognition. We recognize that there is a presence in this world, this universe, that is a higher power. It's invisible, and we can use it to solve problems, to help us solve problems. I don't think the issue with this group is that we don't recognize that, but I do think the issue might be we don't remember it. We might be way down the path of trying to solve our problems with our ego before we think, maybe I can turn to love and spirit. So we recognize the availability, and then we realize that we've got to go beyond intellectual reasoning and say yes. Yes to invite in spiritual solution, and then be accepting and receiving of that. And this is an actual personal experience of alignment and connection, experiencing the presence. And the 3rd R is reverence. And he describes this as becoming one with. We accept our divinity. We commune with that part of ourselves, with our divine connection, always in touch with the solution. He says, problems persist where we fail to recognize, realize, and quietly commune with our source, our power, our spirit, our God. So we use our time this way, our time, attention, and intention this way, instead of in our ego where we're fussing and worrying and struggling and strategizing. I don't know if any of you have ever seen this demonstration, but it's such a great visual. Just picture a glass of water, and it's got a lot of dirt in there floating around. Just a lot. It's really muddy looking. And now we're going to take a pitcher of clear, clean water and start pouring it into this glass of dirty water. Well, what happens is eventually the dirt flows out, and we just keep filling and filling and filling, and we end up with a vessel of clear, clean, beautiful water. And that's what happens with us as a vessel of love. So when spiritual becomes not a way of thinking and not even a way of feeling, I'm feeling spiritual, or I'm thinking about spiritual things, because really when you think about it, our ego's involved with that. But when we really surrender and are connected and unified with the all that is, and we're just being it, we're being spiritual, that's what we're after. Carl Jung said, what is telling in a person's life is their relationship with the infinite. That's what we're looking for, this deepened, enhanced relationship with the infinite. So there's this wonderful story that I think is one of the most beautiful examples of living in spirit in our human experience. And you may have heard it before, I had, but I just really loved hearing it again. So I hope you do too. There was a Special Olympics in Seattle, and 9 contestants in the Special Olympics assembled along the starting mark to compete in a 100-yard dash. And at the gun, they all started out, maybe not so much in a dash, but they were all so excited and just relishing in the idea of running and finishing the race and winning. But then a young man fell, and he hurt himself and he started to cry. And one by one, the other contestants heard the young man crying, and they all stopped and turned around and went back to him, every single one of them. And a young girl with Down syndrome bent over and kissed him and said, "This will make you feel better." And they all then helped him up, and they linked arms, and they walked across the finish line together. And the crowd jumped to their feet and cheered for several minutes. And the contestants were jumping up and down and smiling and congratulating each other. And it was the most beautiful, they were just, everyone in that experience was just in the most beautiful joy. And just imagine for a moment that scene. The energy of this high, beautiful, fast-moving love and unification, because they were all together in this. And the crowd joined in, and the crowd was with them. None of the contestants said, "Gosh, should we stop? Should we go back, or should we keep going?" None of the crowd said, "Well, we need to support them, so let's stand up and cheer." No, it was just this synchronized, beautiful display of love. Emmett Fox tells us that joy is one of the highest expressions of God. And you can just feel that in this experience. I can just see their faces beaming. And they finished. They finished together. So I'd like to invite you to do a reflection with me. I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath and go back within. And follow your breath for a moment. And I'd like for you to bring to mind someone in your life who would be so grateful, so appreciative for you to offer to link arms with them and walk together over the finish line. As you think of them, offer your arm, your support, your encouragement, your unconditional love. And picture this in your mind and in your heart. It can be helping someone through a problem, or joining together to feel joy, sharing some happy, wonderful experience, a new grandchild, a new chapter in someone's life. And you just link arms and go down the path, take the journey together, and go over the finish line together. Just feel the joy, feel the great gratitude. Maybe there are many people in your lives that you can offer your arm to. Now you can come back to the room and just take that idea with you into your week, into your next few months, and watch for occasions when you can link up with somebody and provide support and share joy with them and walk the path with them. So I'm going to leave you with this affirmation. When we're not quite there yet, when we're not quite seeing the spiritual solution, we can say, I may not know how to access the spiritual solution to this problem right now, in this moment, but I fully recognize that one exists, and I am willing and open to receive it. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Barb. And thank you, everybody, for participating. Wonderful words that we can't really hear too much. Mary, thank you so much. And as you said, Fellowship 101, our thoughts, our prayers, and we are always praying. Page 35. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Take charge of what you're saying. Sing higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer.
Thank you. Yes, those were wonderful words. Thank you so much, Mary. Reverend Mary. And we are taught in A Course in Miracles that giving and receiving are one in truth. And everyone benefits, and our community as a whole thrives because of your generosity. So just a big thank you for all that you give from your hearts. Really appreciate it. And it goes through the workings of our fellowship, and we so appreciate the generous offerings that you give, whether it's online or whether you give here at service. And John is going to go around with the basket, and don't forget your connection card with those that you would like to have remembered in today's service. And you at home too. We're keeping all of those names. We've got them covered right here in the service. They'll be in that basket too. blessings of our tithes and offerings. And let's do that together. The light of divine love shines eternally, blessing and multiplying our tithes and offerings. I joyously give, knowing I always have enough to share and to spare. And we're just going to take another short time to go within, perhaps gaze downward or close your eyes. And we're going to just focus on those names that you have listed in the basket here, or those names of your loved ones that are in your heart. And we'll also add Rob Kirtner and Karen and Reverend Deb Plichta and Scott. And just sending blessings from our heart to all those in our basket. And let's pray that everyone feels this safety and protection of this great love. And let's pray that everyone knows who walks with them. And let's pray that they feel those arms crossing that line together as one. Let them all know and feel how loved, how held, and walked with they are. And that they are never alone, whether in this plane or another. Just taking a deeper breath in and out. And coming back to our space. And our next fellowship song is in Every One of Us, page 25.
It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up both your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing why. It's in every one of us, by and by. It's in every one of us to be wise. Find your heart, open up all your eyes. We can all know everything without ever knowing how. It's in every one of us now, right now.
Wow, the harmony there, ladies. My final song today is called Shadows and Light.
The quiet of the coming night shadows the dim and fade the light. Creatures are resting all at peace. The moon and stars, their light increase. Deep serenity and calm, peaceful slumber, healing balm. The beauty of the starlit sky, nature's Then the slightest glow of light softens the sky, pierces the night, as daybreak once again to shine, and brings the hope of love divine. So even in your darkest hour, remember this just as a flower. You bloom again when light does come, illuminated by the sun. Light that brings new life each day, it's always there, can't fade away. The source of life, the one we all, the safe arms to catch you when you fall. Creator of each night and day, sparkling night and shining ray. The ebb and flow of dark and bright, between the shadows and the light.
Beautiful, Julie. Oh my goodness, another beautiful song. Another round of applause for Julie. Okay, and now it's our announcements. And I don't know if those, we have sad news about Rob Kurtner that has passed, and just sending lots of love to Karen and the family. He's a long-time member of our fellowship, and also Reverend Deb Plitter, her husband Scott, that passed this week too. So lots of love to Deb and your family as well. Deaf Cafe will be on Saturday, June 17th at 2 o'clock at the fellowship office. And Julie Ross right here, is having her sound bath. And the date is on Wednesday, the 21st. Okay, originally it was Thursday, so if you had your calendar, just change that date to Wednesday, the 21st. The summer solstice, our summer celebration, that was for June 24th, has been changed too. So it sounds like it may be in July, but we're going to wait another week we'll find out if that's going to will be happening, but at some point we'll have that. We are planning an outdoor service for the last Sunday in June, which I'm very excited for. And it's also our potluck. I've been wanting, we have this beautiful area back here. So weather permitting, we're going to go outside, and Corey's going to bring you have a keyboard, and so it's going to be just fabulous. And, we'll see if, we'll make it that it's pretty friendly to get in and out of if you have any difficulties. Let's see, and that's the potluck, that last Sunday. And is there any other announcements that anyone would like to add? And if not, thank you everyone. And Mary, I'm still thinking of that story. That is just, it just touches the heart. Oh, and thank you so much to Julie Ross for those lovely songs. And our wonderful Corey Williams and Reverend Mary Sabaj for that always lovely message. And Samantha for making this. Okay, all right. And
thank you, Julie, for your part as well.
Thank you. Okay, and going to invite everyone to, and Barb, gosh, Barb. And and all of you for being here, and gosh, all of you, and those on watching too. It all matters. It's all wonderful. Okay, and we're gonna get together for our peace circle, and let's gather around.
And let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joy.